Formula One Philosophy, a show for degenerates by degenerates who love F1, comes at you with its mid-season recap. We're going to go and look over all the things we said would happen preseason, look over where our predictions stand at the moment, and see how good or bad we did. And we'll give the option at the end of every team, after we've done a quick recap of them, to call uncle on our predictions. I think that's fair.
No, we're sticking with it.
Oh, I'm not saying change it, but just calling uncle is a difference. You say,
okay,
like,
I understand now, yes.
yeah, like I was wrong. Doesn't matter what happens from this point. I'm calling uncle.
Mm-hmm.
I think one or two of those teams will have to do, for sure, and we'll get into that quickly. F1philosophypod@gmail.com if you have any comments or questions for us, and F1philosophy at YouTube, and F1 Philosophy. Is it F1_philosophy at Instagram? Which is the Instagram account?
Good question. I think it's F1_philosophy.
F1_philosophy at Instagram to see all of our dank memes. Sean and I are millennials, but we speak with the Gen Z.
Can't do it.
You can't do it. No,
can't do it.
You can't do it. I try and fail miserably on this podcast many times. So when you've dug yourself a hole, keep digging is my motto. Shall we get into it, Sean?
I think you're forgetting a critical point about this episode.
What is that?
For the first time since the first episode of the season, we're back together in one room.
Jeez.
No more awkward talking over each other, no more random pauses, and we're here. We're going to hash it out.
That's right. To continue with the Gen Z talk, we are in the stew cooking.
Wow.
Yeah, that's probably why I forgot about it. Like, it slipped my brain. That, and I just, slowly losing it. I think this podcast has driven the insanity that was rooted in my brain out into the forefront finally.
No, I'll be honest with you. That's becoming a dad.
Damn. Well, cheers to 18 years of love, respect, or jail time, depending on how new dads see it. A little bit of A and B, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, you'll do fine.
Thanks. All right. In the stew, let's get into it. So, Sean, do you want to go from 1st to 10th or 10th to 1st? I'll give you the option here.
Let's go 1st to 10th.
1st to 10th. Okay, so who did we say would be number one this year?
We're starting off strong. We predicted McLaren would be number one.
It's bold. That was a bold prediction by us.
Yes. The boldest. No one would ever expect that.
Yeah, it wasn't the most common prediction for everybody in Formula One, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm. The reigning champion never takes the crown, right?
I'm trying to think of a period of time where that wasn't the case, but I think it was at least 2 years at a time. Like in the 90s, it was Benetton 2 years, McLaren 2 years, Williams 2 years.
At least, yeah.
And then after the 2009 reg change, we've seen like periods of dominance between Red Bull, Mercedes, and Red Bull.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if McLaren does that. I wonder if McLaren has like a 4 or 5 year period of dominance.
If they nail next year, probably. If they don't nail next year, then it's 2 years.
Mercedes is looking like the best engine, though, so that might be...
The engine's going to have very little to do with it, I think.
Interesting.
The aero platform and the changes that are being made, it's going to be interesting. Because it's not just changing engines, it's changing both at the same time. And I have a feeling that everybody's going to fuck it up.
A race to the bottom.
No, everybody's just going to come in and no one's going to really know who's best. Obviously, somebody will float to the top. But the best turd, will look the best. Awkward way to put it. But I think it's going to be a good 5 to 6 years before we see somebody really nail this regulation.
Interesting.
So, I'm hopeful that McLaren continues. I don't want to see them hit the bottom like they did. But who knows? It's going to be a big jump.
Yeah, that would normally favor Red Bull, or at least the best driver in that situation, which may or may not be Max next year.
You never know. He may also not be with Red Bull.
You know, we'll talk about that when we get to our Red Bull synopsis.
Yeah.
Is there anything you want to add about McLaren? I think it's pretty self-explanatory. They have two great drivers, two solid drivers. We've hashed out a million times what I think is going on there, what you think is going on there. And I think we have a slightly divergent opinion. I think, like I've talked about before, I think Oscar is being underutilized, but I'm actually kind of excited the more I think it over of what's going to happen in the next 12 races. We have a shootout going because of whatever's happened.
Between the two of them, yes. McLaren's currently on 460 points.
God.
So, yes, mathematically there is a chance that they could be passed. Realistically, it's not happening.
No.
So, we have our championship winner right now in McLaren for the constructors. And it's going to be a straight fight to the end with Piastri and Norris, I think. Which is going to make for some fireworks.
Yeah, I doubt Spa will be where we talked about that Mercedes-like crash. I doubt Spa is where we're going to see that. More than likely, we'll see it in Hungary. I wonder.
Possibly.
Because if you remember last year, Norris didn't close the door on Oscar, and Oscar squeezed through on that first corner. I wonder if he closes the door this time. Or vice versa, right? Or if Oscar has pull.
There are plenty of good tracks coming up, so it could be any one of them.
All right. Who did we say was second?
Second, we had Red Bull.
Where's the Price is Right horn when we need it? Oh, I should grab my phone.
Dun, dun, dun,
dun. Yeah. What a fall from grace.
Yeah. I mean, the cracks were there last year. We saw it. Everybody wanted to blame the driver, but the evidence was there. And now we're seeing the continuation of that, and it is quite stark. So, yeah. Shit. That prediction was wrong across the board.
I didn't think... I think that both of us didn't think that the entirety of the team would collapse. You know, we've talked about a million times this season. The pit stop crew. Mm-hmm. Minor mistakes. Mm-hmm. Upgrades. Not happening. Random chances like we saw, like random, what's the word I'm thinking of here? Random rolls of the dice.
Yep.
At Silverstone, giving Max low downforce.
Yep.
In a race that he could have dominated. It's just those little things. Like they could have, Max could have had 5 or 6 wins by now. Realistically.
Yeah.
If they were Red Bull 2024.
I think the most shocking thing about this season for Red Bull is not that they didn't have a second car there. I think we all kind of expected that, even if it was Liam Lawson. It wouldn't be a point-scoring car. The surprising part is Max has had difficulty. Yeah. Max has at least 2 races without points, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 races with less than 10 points.
Wow.
And that's unheard of the last 3-4 years.
Yeah. Even 2020.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it really is a fall.
It just goes to show. I remember everybody talking about in 2023. Oh, we're getting bored of this dominance. We're getting bored of what's happening here. That there's peaks and troughs, and when it seems unbearable, like when the winning is unbearable when you're the opposing team, that's usually right before a drop off. Mm-hmm. So all you have to do is be patient instead of changing the rules to help yourself get back up there. Mm-hmm. But it also shows that like problems develop in winning. Like the cracks didn't just happen in last year. They started in 2023.
Yes.
Like when you win too much, you often miss minor things in front of you because you think everything is perfect.
Yes.
There's no incentive to grow, and yeah, that's exemplified by Red Bull these last 2 years.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
Is this not what we've been asking for?
Yes. Well, no would be the right answer there, because I just gave a double negative. Is this not what we've been asking for?
You're correct.
Yeah.
This is exactly what we've wanted, right? Sure, you can say, okay, we've entered the McLaren dominance era. They're running away with this championship. It's going to be boring because, we're going to know who's winning. Well, no, we have two drivers for the same team who are duking it out every weekend, which you could say, okay, is the same as Mercedes with Hamilton and Rosberg. It's still entertaining because it's a legitimate fight. But at the same time, they're not running away. They're not a minute and a half ahead of the rest of the pack, like we saw with Nico and Hamilton sometimes. Right? Yeah, there's been a couple of races where it's 30 seconds, but that seems to be the exception this season.
That's a good point. The track that everybody loves, wink, Miami was the only one where they ran away with it. Really?
Yeah. I think one of Max's was a big blowout, wasn't it?
No, Imola.
Imola, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. But he's just a master of that course.
Yeah.
I think we should talk about Horner's firing. Do you think this is, as everybody knows, Christian Horner was fired last week, and Sean and I are once again giving a way too late comment. Mm-hmm. Do you think this is a positive for the team? Do you think this is the step in the right direction? Is this a Hail Mary to save Max on the team?
I'm pretty sure we asked for this earlier in the season, did we not?
I said Horner should have resigned at the end of 2024. He should have read the room.
And I think my comment on that was if he doesn't resign, he needs to be replaced, something along those lines.
Yes.
It is what needed to happen. It seems a bit reactionary to say, okay, they've had one bad season, he needs to go. But that's not the case. He's been there for 20 years. Like, this is the team that Horner built. And the fact that it slipped so drastically away from them, I think the writing was on the wall that this was a team slipping into dysfunction at the hands of someone who wanted control.
Yeah.
So it was realistically the only logical outcome from this year.
To quote Jack Nicholson in The Departed, heavy wears the crown.
Heavy hangs the head.
Heavy hangs the crown or whatever, yeah.
Yeah. What I found interesting was who they replaced him with.
How does he keep failing upward?
I don't see it as failing upward. It just, I wouldn't have thought he would be the next in line. I have nothing against him. I'm not taking the stance that you are. It was just mind-boggling to me that there was not even a hesitation. It wasn't Horner's gone and we will appoint somebody. It's Horner's gone and he's in. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, good for him. We'll see how the team responds to it. But interesting choice.
You could say, yeah, V-Carb is more balanced since he came in. They're the more balanced car compared to the two. But he kind of fell flat against France Toast, right? He was nowhere near what France Toast was doing, which is hard to do.
But we don't know that. He really hasn't had the time.
Fair. But here's the point I wanted to make. He was the head strategist at Ferrari and was laughed out of Ferrari in 2022 to eventually get a job at V-Carb Racing Bulls to mess up their strategy, when we've talked about their strategy being messed up a bunch of times this year, to now fix a team that's flailing strategy-wise and everywhere-wise.
Yeah, but you're attributing things to the team principal again that aren't the team principal's responsibility.
Okay.
Like, yes, ultimately he is responsible for the team and therefore responsible for their failures and their successes. But he's not the one making strategy calls. He's not the one making design decisions. Right? He needs to be able to put people in the right place to do those jobs.
Yeah, but you march to the tune of the leader. Right? Like, we can say that, like, not everything was Horner's fault. The people he put in charge either left and he couldn't replace them well enough. And that's what happened with Horner. Like, that's why Red Bull has fallen apart. So, like,
No, but-
I feel that I think that Mekis is going to have the same issue. He's not going to be able to find the right people.
But you're onto it there because people left. Okay, why did people leave?
Because they couldn't stand Christian.
Or it was creating an atmosphere that was unsustainable. They may not have had anything against Christian in general, but perhaps things that were going on in the background between him and whoever else created an atmosphere where it was no longer a good fit for these people. Right? Christian, one of the proposed reasons why Christian was let go is because he refused to relinquish control of certain areas of the team. And the owners felt like he was holding on to too much responsibility. That creates a very shitty atmosphere when everything's got to go through one person, and perhaps there are better people at the team to be managing those details who have the bandwidth and the capacity and the know-how to do it. But the one guy at the top doesn't want to relinquish it because he feels he knows better, right? These are good reasons why teams fall apart.
Yeah, and to your earlier point, Christian, you were saying Christian built that team over 20 years, but it hasn't been that team for, we'll say, the past 6 to 9 months. The people that made this great that Christian brought in all left.
Yes.
So it's not really Christian's team anymore. Anyways, he might as well go.
Yeah, I wouldn't go that far, but you're not wrong.
Like, what was the name? Callum Benjamin is gone in the pit crew. Knew he's
Callum
gone.
Nicholas.
Callum Nicholas.
Dan Fallows.
And Dan Fallows was. You got to remind me of him again.
I forget what his role was, but he was another big heavy hitter on the leadership team.
Jonathan Wheatley.
Jonathan Wheatley, yeah.
Doing wonders at Sauber, sort of. Yeah. I know it's just one result, but still, that's massive for them.
Yeah. I actually read an article today that said Jonathan Wheatley actually had no intention of leaving and was intentionally trying to be out of the spotlight of the press until somebody put the idea out there that he was looking for opportunities to leave, which allegedly he was not. And then people started contacting him, and he went, well, fuck, I guess, okay, why not?
And
Which you don't do unless you're not actually happy at the team.
I was going to say, if you see the writing on the wall, you might as well. I think that's probably where his mind went.
Right.
Yeah. Does Christian Horner get another job anywhere anytime soon? There's talk about Alpine being the place for him, which would be weird.
Yeah, and this is the stupidest articles I keep seeing. Christian Horner must pay 250 million euro for a new team. Like, must he? No. If he wants to go to Alpine, okay, allegedly that is the price. To buy a portion of the team, to be a part owner and team principal and whatever else they want to call him, sure. But I don't know that he must. I think Jeremy Clarkson put it the best last week when this first happened. He compared it to his own career. He went, look at what happened to me. I got fired from Top Gear, where I was an automotive journalist, presenter. And when it happened, I thought that was it. That's my career. I'm done. I'll go into retirement. But now look at me. I'm a farmer. I'm this. I'm that. I found a way to do something else. And who knows? We might see Christian Horner as an ice cream truck man. I mean, he doesn't need the money.
I think with the sexual harassment stuff, I think Ice Cream Man is probably the last on his list. But
there was no allegations of underage. I guess there's still time for that, though.
I was going to say, and what parent would want their kid hanging around a guy like that? The horn dog of F1. Allegedly.
As long as file 76 isn't on the menu, it should be fine.
Why do we know it by number? Why did I know what you were talking? Anyway, I think a lot of things are lining up, and this will segue into my next question. For Horner Verstappen at Ferrari in 27, I've been saving this. This has been my theory all along, that Ferrari's going to take Max and Christian.
No.
You don't see it?
No.
I can't see. Why would he go to Mercedes? There's no good reason for him or for Mercedes to take him. I understand he's an amazing talent, but you've just told us you have the next talent who's up next. Mm-hmm. And you have a solid driver as your first, right for now, second driver in the future. Plays the team game. He's never going to be a champion, George Russell. Why would you upend all that to have a guy who clearly needs things a certain way? And why would Max take a risk now to go to Mercedes?
Toto has been very clear that one of his regrets in his career is not signing Max Verstappen.
I understand, but
this is it. This is Toto's way of turning the knife a little bit more to Christian Horner by saying, I got your driver. I got him. And if they can win one championship with Max, I think that's good enough. But Max can't go to Ferrari.
Okay, finish your point and then I'll respond to that. Why can't he go to Ferrari?
Look at how he is in a Red Bull and how much he complains during races he wins. You think Alonso's a fucking whiner.
That's a good point.
Max will literally execute the entire team.
That's needed. We've talked about it a million times. So
I agree.
That's how Ferrari wins.
But it's not going to get there. Max is going to do something stupid and he's going to get fired from Ferrari. Michael was hard, but Michael knew how to form the team around him. And everybody that works with Max seems to say the same thing. Like, he is a great guy. Yes, he gets heated, but he's a great guy. Sure. Nobody talks that way about Michael. There's never the but. Right? It's like, Michael is a great guy. He knew how to push us to make us work, and we got the job done around him. With Max, he's a great guy. Yeah, he gets heated. They make excuses for it.
That's a really
It's
good
like
point.
an abusive relationship. That's not going to happen. That's not going to fly at Ferrari.
So Jean-Pierre Lambiase is going to have PTSD when Max retires?
I'm pretty sure GP is in therapy every reasonable minute that he's not at the track.
Once a week, every Wednesday before the media crew or media day.
Yeah. What is it, like Tuesdays at 2:00 between when they land and when they take off?
That's a really good point because, yeah, I guess Max never had that team or that specific engineer. Like Michael had Ross Braun at all times.
Well, GP is that.
Okay.
GP and Newey are that relationship. And if he goes to Ferrari, he's definitely fucking not going to have that. Right? Look at Lewis and Bono and what's happening now. You would think, okay, Lewis needs somebody like Bono at Ferrari right now. Who do they fucking give him?
Adami, I think it is.
They may as well pick this guy up on the fucking cafe around the corner.
Probably did.
Jesus Christ.
That's a good point.
I don't know I forget where I heard this. It was in a podcast somewhere. I can't remember which one. But Lewis was saying the biggest difference between Mercedes and Ferrari is that, in a very Italian way, the Ferrari crew just picks up and goes to lunch. For like an hour and a half, they're just gone. He was like, I'd come in, at Mercedes, I'd come in any time of the day and there'd be somebody there. If I want to talk to somebody about a technical thing, whatever it is, I go into the garage, there's somebody there I can talk to. I get out of the car, I go into the garage, there's nobody there. Where is everybody? Well, they've all gone for lunch.
And well, that speaks to his, I guess, command. I guess really Michael was just a once in a lifetime type of person for Ferrari, and they're never going to have that guy again.
I would say they never had that before, and they will never have it again.
Yeah.
Like, you hear about the way Niki Lauda was at Ferrari, but he wasn't what Michael was. Not to that same impact. He was very brash and bordering arrogant, and the team listened to him and it worked. But it wasn't as successful, and you can blame that on his accident. I'll give them that. That's not an excuse. That's a legitimate reason why that may have happened. But then you also had people like Prost, who went to Ferrari and tried to do what Lauda did and got fired. And then you have Michael, who by all accounts is the same as those two, but for some reason they put up with it.
They were able to rally around him.
Right.
Where they couldn't with the other two, yeah.
Right. And they went on to 5 championships.
Yeah.
And they thought they had that with Alonso, but that went downhill quick, just like every single team that has had Alonso since has found out.
Yeah. You could have the best car in the world. I keep seeing this short of him where McLaren and Honda's asking him about the balance, and he goes, I don't know. Mm-hmm. Who would, like, why didn't they fire him right then? What kind of driver says that? I understand you're frustrated, but like, this is when they need you. Like, those moments where when they really need you, I
Right.
would think. But
And this is the same as we were talking about with Paul Moynihan.
yes,
Okay, the car's bad. We get feedback from Alonso. We make adjustments to it, and we ask him, "How's the car feel?" Oh, the car feels the same. I drove better. No,
that's not how it
there is a
works.
reason why you were able to go around the track faster. If you just drove better, do that every single lap, all the time. If you can't do that, it's not you, it's the fucking car.
Well said. Sorry, we got in the weeds there, but
Verstappen's not going to Ferrari.
when Verstappen's not going to Ferrari is a good point. You made a really good case for it. I thought that was a sleeper pick because I assumed Max had a team around him. But yeah, the more I think about this, who does he really have? Yoss? Yeah, like he doesn't have the same relationships with engineers that Michael did or the same rallying ability. We're seeing it this year, unfortunately.
I mean, if he ends up at Mercedes, the big coup would be to take GP with him.
Yeah.
Because Red Bull has been giving GP more responsibility. So he's Max's race engineer, but he's also head of race engineering in general. So he runs that group, I believe. So Red Bull losing him as well would be a massive blow.
Yeah. You were saying, too, about Horner. When all roads start leading to one person, you have a big problem if things go wrong. It's the same with GP.
Yes.
Wow. I hope Mercedes doesn't hear what we just said. They already know, but wouldn't that be interesting? There's no point in twisting the knife now. Horner's already gone.
But their relationship is so petty.
Yeah.
I guarantee you, if it happens, Toto is going to be the first one on the phone. As soon as Max walks out of his office, he's going to be dialing Christian and be like, guess what? You don't run the team anymore, but I got your fucking driver.
So then does Mekki signal a massive rebuild, a long-term structural rebuild?
It has to be. It has to be. At the very least, you're going into a new regulation set. If he's not headfirst into that activity at the moment, then the next 5 years are going to be difficult.
Wow.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Red Bull's got the money to put up with it. I don't know that Ford does. And this is something that was pointed out, I want to say in a meme, but it isn't a good point because I listened to a podcast with Farley, James Farley. Is it James Farley? The president of Ford.
Yes, it is James Farley.
Yeah. Who, yes, he is Chris Farley's cousin.
I was going to make a joke about that. Okay. I did not know that.
Yeah. No, and there's a really sad story there, but we'll save it for later.
Okay.
Anyway, James Farley is a really well-respected individual in the automotive industry, now runs Ford. And he was talking about the deal that he made with Red Bull and why he chose to take over Red Bull's engine business. And it was not because they want to push further into motorsports for any sort of glory purposes per se. Yeah, they have a racing program and they want to be good at it, obviously. But his thinking behind it was, we have an electric pickup truck that is not up to muster, right? It's not as good as we wanted it to be. We want to make it better. We look at cars like Tesla, and there are like 300 pounds that Tesla doesn't have in their wiring harness that we have. How do we get that out? using race platforms or using race programs to try and do stuff like this? How do I get the same power, the same efficiency, the same functionality with less weight? That's what we want. That's why we're partnering with Red Bull. Aerodynamics. We make big pickup trucks. We want people to buy big pickup trucks. We want to give them green, efficient pickup trucks. But we can't do that with these big, aerodynamically inefficient bodies. We want to give them all the performance, but we need to do something to make it so that there's not so much drag. Because drag is load, and load is waste. And an EV, you can't afford it. So, and this is where it gets interesting, I got into this because Adrian Newey is the best in the game, and I want Adrian to give me input on how we make a pickup truck more aerodynamically efficient.
Oh, wow.
So imagine, within 6 months of that podcast, Christian Horner has a scandal.
Yeah.
To which Farley came out and said, I hope Red Bull addresses this properly because we cannot be associated with a company that does not take this seriously. Newey leaves. Wheatley leaves. The championship team takes a fucking dump. They lose the championship.
Yeah. Wow. So then, yeah, what's the future with Red Bull Ford? Is it just a 1 year, one and done type of thing?
They're stuck in it, and they're probably going to be stuck in it for 5. I'm guessing 5 years minimum.
Wow.
But if things go really poorly, as we know, contracts aren't worth the paper they're printed on these days.
Yeah, Ford won the championship with Benetton in '94. They were gone within a couple of years.
Ford is the winningest constructor in F1.
Cosworth. Yeah.
Still a Ford.
Exactly. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, they should have. Well, if Ford had their way, they probably would have fired Christian right then and there to keep Newey and keep everybody.
And this is something that people aren't talking about that I think is probably going on in the background. It wouldn't surprise me if Ford did have an influence in Christian going, because they've seen the value of their investment drop considerably.
So we'll stop sharing our technological advances if you don't get rid of Christian type of thing. I know that's not the exact thing that'll happen, but
They're not sharing any technology, actually. They have people from Ford's electronics or electrification program working with them, yes. But largely it is a funding deal and an information sharing, but the information is largely flowing one way.
it's anyway. I just want to say too little, too late. Either way, it's just
Oh, absolutely.
we got way off topic.
But I think it's all valid as far as Red Bull and the shit show that was our prediction.
Yes,
Because we went in with high hopes. And holy fuck, were we wrong.
yeah. The only reason I say we got way off topic is because we still haven't gotten to team number 3, and it's 35 minutes, and this was supposed to be a quick episode. But in typical Nick and Sean fashion, there's beer, there's voices, there's talking.
We're in person.
Yeah, this is what we do. Anyways, we gave a great historical context. Do not sleep on everything we just talked about as to why everybody thought Red Bull would be really good and why they've fallen off. That was important. Who did we say was going to be third?
Ferrari.
Where are they now?
They are in second.
How?
Based on the beginning of the season, this was unforeseeable. Based on the beginning of the season, my prediction for Ferrari last year was more accurate.
6th.
Right. But no, they're in second. Midway through the season, the team that can't seemingly get their team past 6th place, obviously, yes, they have, but
Only if there's DNFs in front of them.
right, there has to be something to trigger a positive result. Yet they're in second place.
I guess there is something to collecting. Something you said to me years ago. If you can't be good, be consistent.
I've been saying that to you for the last 2 years as we've been doing this podcast.
Yeah, but I remember the specific time you said that. It was a couple of years ago. That's what this is right now. Red Bull and Mercedes cannot figure their weekends out,
Yes.
and McLaren actually made a leap. And Ferrari, even though they were expected to make a leap and stay with McLaren, they've completely self-destructed.
Right. And that's a good point you make. So I'm looking at my points tally here, and Leclerc and Hamilton are 5th and 6th. And as I look through the points, they're consistently scoring points. Yeah, it's not the high-level points, the 25 Z18s. Yes, there are a few of those. But they're consistently scoring more than one.
Yeah.
That's how you do it.
Yeah. Would it be better if Red Bull did that?
Yes. Because they'd be in second. Empirically better.
Yeah, I say that tongue in cheek, but it's like, don't you want to give Max the best car, even if it sacrifices the second driver? How am I saying this? I'm like,
Yes, you do.
yes,
If he's winning.
if he's dead, that's what I was getting at. Yes, but he's not winning anymore. So they're just a few degrees off. If we're using the plane flying analogy, they're just a couple degrees off every race.
Yes.
Otherwise, if they stayed the course, Max would still be winning most of them.
At this point, they need to go back to what Red Bull was when it was Danny and Max.
Yeah,
That was the most consistent they've been since their recent domination. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Max was winning, it didn't matter. Now that Max isn't winning, they need that consistency again.
they might need two new drivers to talk about what we just talked about, yeah, or to add to what we just talked about.
And hopefully one of them isn't George Russell.
Do you want him out of F1, essentially?
I wouldn't mind it. And out of all the drivers on the grid, I think he deserves to be there more than some of the others. I just don't like the guy. He rubs me the wrong way. I'm sure he's a perfectly good guy, but I don't want to see his face anymore. His AI-generated smugness.
Woody from Toy Story.
Yes.
Yeah, I think he probably is a good guy, but I always got bothered by that Qatar penalty nonsense we talked about last year when he made a whole I feel unsafe to take Max's pole away. That was just that was a whole different type of like loser, beta loser. I hate shit like that. Like if you lose, take it on the chin and beat them in the race. Don't use the referee to get something that you didn't earn.
Yeah. Whatever. I don't like the guy.
He probably wouldn't want to go to Red Bull. Realistically.
How do I put this? I don't think he has the integrity to make that call.
Oh.
I think more than anything, he wants to prove that he's championship material. So to not be on the grid is the end of him. And I genuinely think he is one of those drivers that if he does not have a seat, he will be forgotten. He doesn't have the personality of a Bottas. He doesn't have the fan base of a Perez.
He has the British media. The media loves him.
But the British media also has a Norris and a Hamilton.
Good point. Good point.
Right? Bottas is a Finn, and he's got a personality that's better than the entire grid, bar Danny Rick. Perez is the Mexican, which sounds bad, but it's a huge fan base.
Great
and
movie.
they get around him.
Great movie, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you see the point there, right? Like
Yes,
the British
yes.
media have other people to rally around that are better than he is.
Yeah. It's not the time of Jensen Button, Damon Hill, where they were the only ones.
Right.
Basically, yeah. That's a good point. Okay, well, and you want to add anything else about Ferrari? How's 2026 looking for them?
Terrible. Those aerodynamics are far too complicated for that team.
Wow, yeah. You've been blackpilling me all episode where I've just been like, oh, I have this whole idea of what's happening, and just you make a simple point, and I'm like, oh yeah, you're right.
I mean, F1 has never been easy, but it's been relatively consistent in the sense that aerodynamics are stationary. You don't do movable aerodynamics. So you have a general baseline. If you have a good aerodynamic platform, you'll have a good car. Ferrari isn't good at that, but occasionally they nail it, right? But in general, when you talk to people about why the Ferraris perform, it's usually they have great traction, they have great mechanical grip, which speaks to why potentially they haven't been the top car in a largely ground effect era, because now you're more reliant on aerodynamics than you are mechanical grip. You can still overcome some of it with grip, okay? But now you're getting into an era of aerodynamics where they're allowing movable elements, and there's going to be a strategy in how they're deployed and all that other nonsense that I think is above the complexity of the team at Maranello. And don't get me wrong, those engineers are much more talented than I am. Just based on what we're seeing, they don't have the chops of some of the other teams out there.
Mechanical grip being just like suspension, stuff like that, like
Suspension, tires, yes, the basic fundamentals of racing cars.
okay. It's gonna be a long 2026 for Ferrari based on that.
Yeah.
And just as a reminder, everybody, both their drivers are out of contract at the end of 2026. Then the options kick in. I think it's Lewis Hamilton's a +1, Leclerc's a +3. Interesting. Might be, if they fuck up, might be time for a whole new team. Who did we say would be fourth?
This is where we split.
Oh, wow.
So you said Mercedes,
Yes.
which not bad. I have a feeling they will potentially get to fourth
Interesting.
because their season is getting worse.
Yeah, that's a good point. I was about to call Uncle, actually, on that. And I think they fight for second. I think Red Bull was going to be the lock for fourth. But please continue.
What we talked about one of the last episodes was that Ferrari started off kind of shitty and now they're improving, and Mercedes started off good and now they've gone down the tubes. So Mercedes week over week is starting to score fewer points than they were. Ferrari is starting to score more points week over week than they were. If this continues, there's a chance Red Bull catches them. But there's an outside chance that one of the other teams catches both.
Williams would be the closest right now.
Yes. Williams at this point is the realistic one. The next one.
No.
Who's the next one, Nick?
It's Sauber. No.
It's 59-41.
No, I understand Sauber's 6. I'm saying Sauber is not the chance to catch the top.
I'm not saying that.
Oh, okay, that's what I thought
I'm
you were
just
getting
saying the next to catch that top pack is Williams. They do have a massive gap to clear. They have over 100 points.
Yeah, that's podiums for Carlos and Alex.
Or DNFs for Mercedes from here on out.
Yeah. That's a good point. I thought it was maybe just a lull, but this is where Mercedes came alive last year. So if they're going backwards right now, we have precedent for this, which was 2012, when they started really strong and then dipped and just disappeared. Okay. So I don't know. I doubt Williams could catch them. Consider they would, like you're saying, they would have to score heavy points. Mercedes would have to DNF, and on top of that, Red Bull has to come alive, which is yet again another. I want to say impossibility, but I don't think we're going to see any type of consistency from the second car, and I don't think we're going to see much more out of Max. I think he's kind of checked out at this point.
I think we have a potential for a Max win in Belgium. He loves that track as much as he loves Imola. So we have a possibility for a couple more wins. Right? He has the chance to win Netherlands. He's got as much chance as anybody else to win Hungary.
Brazil.
Monza's a shit show. Baku, they do good in Baku.
They do, actually.
As long as his tires don't blow up. Or unless, Yuki's got to stay pinned to the back so he doesn't rear end him. Coda is an interesting one because it's basically made up of corners of all the tracks that Red Bull is good at. Right?
But didn't help him last year.
No, but that's kind of the, okay, Lewis has a good record at Coda because of Mercedes' dominant era. But Coda in general is not particularly good to one manufacturer or the other. If you take away Mercedes' dominance, there's a good spread.
That's a good point. Okay. All right, you sold. You know what? You did sell me. You sold me on what's going on in the second half of the season. I won't call uncle on Mercedes or Red Bull yet.
All right.
What about Williams? Do you like Williams at 5? Did you put Williams 5?
Well, no, let's get to my 4.
Oh, who was your 4?
Which is Racing Bulls. Which I think I'm going to have to call uncle on simply because Christian Horner fucked me.
And Yuki's not there.
Yes.
All right.
They put the driver I didn't want in place of the driver that was going to score all the points. And don't get me wrong, Hajar has done phenomenal. He has done better than you and I ever gave him credit for.
I'm not looking forward to when we recap our over-unders at the end of the year. Holy shit.
But, yeah, putting Liam on that team did not help them. And it didn't help Yuki at Red Bull, who we completely glossed over in our review of Red Bull, but like everybody else has at this point.
Well, let's talk about him now. Like, I'm not saying that meanly. I'm actually saying that, like, what do we need to say about Yuki? Unfortunately, like, is he done? We already talked about this a little bit last year.
He's got 10 points. Like, holy fuck.
Yeah, he's a lot better than that.
And I mean, he was put in that seat after 2 weekends. So his total at Racing Bulls was 3 points in 2 races. His total since is 7 points in what should have been a championship winning car.
Yeah.
And the fact that Max is struggling with it tells me it's not Yuki.
Probably not.
But not Max. Yuki has no affiliation anymore. Honda has effectively let him go, right? His contract has run up, and basically they did not renew his contract with Honda to not pin him to the manufacturer, to give him an opportunity to continue effectively. Now, if he doesn't get a seat, I'm sure Honda will step back in and help him continue his career. But holy fuck.
I had a whole point that I just lost about him. We remember I said preseason that the whole point of Red Bull would be to screw over his career this season so that they had an excuse to get rid of him.
Mm-hmm.
I never expected it to be like this. They kind of set him up for failure.
You're talking about Max.
Yuki. I said preseason they would. I said Racing Bulls, spoiler alert to the end of this episode, would come last.
Mm-hmm.
And I said it's because they don't want Yuki. They don't really want Isaac either. They want a whole new setup.
Oh, which is just a stupid thing to predict. But okay, yes, go ahead.
It's kind of what's happening right now. It's offhandedly, I got this prediction right. Because they kind of set him up for failure this year. Why would you replace Liam after 2 seasons? Or 2 races? Wouldn't you give Yuki the preseason to get comfortable with this car? They've kind of put him on the back foot the entire step of the way, and now they're like, okay, we're probably just going to not renew him by the end of this year. That's the rumors so far.
But this again is, I think, part of the reason why Christian is gone, because I think it was clear to everybody, like it was clear to me and you, that you have to give the driver, as I've said, half a season. I want to give him the entire season, right? And yeah, I'm being a little petty because I wanted them to sit in the mistake they made with Liam. Just stew in it. But at least give him half the season to see if he comes around to it.
Mm-hmm.
2 races is very much a reactionary, oh fuck, we knew this was wrong.
Yes.
We knew this was wrong, we did it anyway, let's pivot. But now you fucked Yuki because he spent the entire preseason getting used to the Racing Bulls car, which Isaac has proved is a decent car.
Yeah.
And Yuki is no slouch either. Yuki has propped up Racing Bulls the last 4 years?
3.
3 years.
Yeah.
So why would you take him away?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think they genuinely thought Liam could do it. How do I say this? They wanted us to think that they thought that Liam could do it. I think you kind of said that. Mm-hmm. They lied to us. Mm-hmm. And then when it came so glaringly obvious, they switched to what our original plan is. Let's try and either let Yuki sink or swim so we can get rid of him too. It's gravy. Yuki's just gravy. Yeah. Let's get rid of both of them in one fell swoop.
But again, this is Hanlon's razor.
What's the most? What's the most?
No, don't attribute to malice what you can attribute to stupidity. I don't think this was a conscious effort. This was completely reactionary.
Yeah.
Which, slight tangent. We'll get back to it soon. I just built the Lego F1 Red Bull car. Guess who the driver was?
Yuki.
No.
Liam. Oh, tell me it was Liam.
Blonde hair and stubble. That's not Max.
That's not Max. Oh boy. Whoopsie.
Anyway.
Yeah. Let's get on with it. Yeah. Poor Yuki. You helped me come around on him because I never thought much of him early in his career.
Yuki.
I did. Yeah. Well, because everyone would talk about pay driver this, pay driver that, and gloss over him. But he eventually became something. He was the pay driver who eventually became something.
So again, this is the Franz Toast impact.
Yeah.
Right? Helmet picks them, Franz makes them what they are.
Well said. But live by the sword, die by the sword. You know, you put your trust in Red Bull. You said, I can do this. You said, I want to be in the better car. This was the specific situation to come out and say, I don't want to go through this crap.
Yeah.
He needed to stand up for himself. We said that early on.
Yep.
All right. So, yeah. Calling Uncle on Racing Bulls. Where do you think they finish?
Where they are.
Somewhere between the 6th to 8th range?
I think they're going to finish 7th. They'll pin it there and call it a day. And Isaac will prop him up.
Yeah. Is he good or is the car that good? I wonder with Isaac.
I think it's both. I think the car is decent and he is good at what he does. And he is replacing Yuki in all sense of that statement.
Yeah. Yuki was destroying him early on. When the 2 races he was there. Like there was an obvious difference between the 2 of them.
Sure.
And it's just to your point of saying Yuki there would have been magnificent for them. Yeah.
If Yuki had stayed and Isaac ramped up the way that he did, they would have been in 4th place.
Wow. Yeah, maybe.
But as I've said, if ifs and buts were candy and nuts.
If your mom had balls, she'd be your dad, I think is what you were trying to say.
If your aunt had balls, she'd be your uncle, but okay.
I like the mom-dad one. I've done this twice now.
Freud would have a field day with you.
Shit. 5th, I said Williams.
You did. And you're on it so far.
And you had who in 5th?
Mercedes.
Might want to call Uncle on that too.
Nope.
Okay. Moving on.
I'm holding out for Williams to just start winning races come Spa.
Yeah. Carlos is saying something interesting. It's everything that's gone wrong has gone wrong this year, which to me speaks to a really good 2026 for him. Like clear all the brush early on.
It's a Mercedes engine in 2026 again, so he'll at least know the engine. Because, not to make excuses for him, but this is the first time he's driven a Mercedes engine car.
Was McLaren? Was McLaren still Honda when he was there?
It was Renault when he was there.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Good, yeah.
Because he went from Renault to McLaren when they made the Renault deal, if I'm remembering correctly.
Yeah, and then 2021 they switched over to Mercedes. It was McLaren Mercedes.
Right.
That's
he
right.
went to Ferrari.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see on that. Who did we say would be our 6th place?
I had Alpine, and you had Haas.
Okay, so you know what? I'm calling Uncle on that. I think you sold me. Well, we both came to this conclusion.
We were both so fucking far off on this one. Because Haas is in 9th,
Yeah.
and Alpine is in 10th.
Yes. I really thought it was the lock for Haas the way development was going. I thought Ocon would reap the benefits of what was built before him, and he's just a decent enough driver to scrape out a podium here and there. But holy shit, he's proven you right.
But like we said in the last episode, or one of the last episodes at least, stick him on a set of shitty tires for 60 laps, and he'll score points. Other than that, fucking useless.
Or he needs like rain-soaked chaos.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I was completely wrong about Ocon. That's why I'm calling Uncle. And I was completely right about Behrman, even though there's embargo. So since there's an embargo, I'll stop talking. But yeah, I have no faith in this team growing the rest of the season. I'll call Uncle. And I'm going to make a statement right now. If Alpine signs Valtteri Bottas, Haas will finish 10th.
You don't think Haas can cover less than 20-point gap? Because that's what it is. It's 41 to 29.
The way things are going, Behrman can only get 10th, and Ocon can get 8th to 7th every now and then.
So are you admitting that you think Sauber will continue to score points?
Sauber may not want to score points, but they might just be good enough. Like Hülkenberg might be competitive enough, and Bortoleto will have enough to prove that they'll accidentally keep scoring points and screw themselves out of more wind tunnel time.
For those listening at home, I can physically see Nick's brain turning itself into knots trying to justify that answer.
I'm not even trying to I'm telling you what I think is going to happen. Does Haas really want to finish, or Sauber really want to finish this high? Do they really? Maybe.
You're connecting dots that aren't there again, Nick.
Yeah, I'm going nuts. Okay, but anyways, I'll call Haas 9th to 10th, anywhere in that range.
I'm looking at this and I'm asking myself, what's it going to take for Alpine to go from 10th to 6th? The answer is a fuck ton. They are currently, because I'm not going to do this math in this condition. Give me one moment. Apparently I can't use Excel in this condition either.
What are you trying to calculate?
Oh, well, fuck. I've fucked it all up now.
Uh-oh.
41 and 15. 41 minus 15, Nick.
Oh, 26.
26. 26 points. I do not think Alpine scores 26 points the rest of the season.
No.
Unless Valtteri Bottas.
Yeah, and that's such a perfect signing for both parties. Because Bottas has so much to prove that he can prove so much with so little. If he scores 10 points, he's a hero.
Yes.
And that's all Alpine needs right now.
Yes.
Because Gasly in 12 races has scored all 19 points.
15.
Oh, 15? Okay. He scored 15 points. He'll probably do that again in the next 12 races. They'll probably get 30 points. But
Which,
the way
at this point, puts them 1 point ahead of Haas's current total.
that's what I'm saying. It's unfortunate for them that the 1 year where getting 30 points doesn't keep you out of last is the year that they're going to finish last, more than likely.
I want to say this is the worst result for the Enstone team since they went bankrupt as Lotus.
That's a good point, yeah. Yeah, they had like 2 Lotus teams that went bankrupt. Right?
Lotus and Caterham.
Yeah.
Caterham went fully bankrupt. Lotus was borderline. Lotus was only in the financial condition it was because of Kimi Räikkönen. And he technically is still owed money from that team.
That's a great story. Per race, he had a per race contract, right? Every point he scored, he had bonuses.
He had a contract that stipulated for every point he scored, he was guaranteed X amount of money. And he scored the most points that they have scored in the last whatever it was.
He finished 3rd in the championship.
Right.
Yeah.
And I want to say the amount of money that was owed to him is like 3 times Verstappen's yearly salary, which is the largest driver salary in the history of F1.
Wow. He's owed over 150 million.
Was. He got paid some of it. He gave up on the rest of it.
Yeah, that's why he was driving for Ferrari and Alfa as a hobby.
Well,
To get his kids through college, yeah.
He also signed up for snowmobile races in Finland under the name James Hunt. The guy just loves to race. But anyway, we're off topic again.
Yeah, so we're both calling Uncle on our 6th place.
Yes, that was a terrible fucking prediction.
Yeah. Well, Alpine, like a lot of people thought Alpine 6th. But I think you and I kind of nailed it preseason. We talked about this. Like, this team got really lucky to get 6th the year before, and development is still going backwards.
Yep.
And Briatore's making this whole situation worse right now.
Yeah, but what does Briatore have to do with it? They have the team principal gave up on the team. He wasn't forced out at all.
Yeah, right.
We're still here for you, Ollie, if you need us.
F1philosophybot@gmail.com. Give us the inside scoop. Who did we say 7th?
We're back aligned on 7th, and we're almost there. It's Aston.
Which is currently
8th. Let me verify, because I did this a little... yes, 8th.
Okay. Yeah, I won't give up on that just yet. They're consistent in their point scoring, and that's Lance and Alonso.
Their upgrades have seemed to work. We'll see if they continue to work.
I think Lance is still the breadwinner at this point, right?
Currently, yes.
Well, I have a theory. I don't want us to get too much more off topic because we've already gone way past our quote on this one. But I have a theory that Lance is staying at the team not for Lawrence and Lance. You know, I mean, they're not trying to protect each other for the father-son bond. My theory is that they keep Lance there to make Alonso look better. Because why, like, this is, and once again, just a conspiracy theory of mine. Why didn't they start somebody at Spain? It doesn't make Lance look worse if somebody comes in and makes a fool out of him. Everybody already knows Lance sucks. But if Felipe Drugovich comes in and destroys Fernando Alonso,
Yeah.
what does that say about everything they've been saying about Alonso the last couple of years?
So a couple things there. The team line is that you can't start somebody after qualifying. Once you've qualified, it's locked in. And if that driver doesn't participate, he can't be replaced. Which is not entirely true. The rule book does say for force majeure, he can be replaced.
Or at the discretion of the stewards, right? Or
Well,
something. Yeah.
Force majeure would then go to the stewards to make the decision. But what is force majeure? Force majeure is for forces outside of your control.
Okay.
It's something that I've been involved with relatively recently in the automotive industry because all of our contracts for supply are basically, well, barring force majeure, you have to provide this. Okay? During COVID, we were getting force majeure letters from our Chinese suppliers because they all shut down in December, January, and we were still going. We were okay because we said, okay, well, we have enough inventory that we should be able to weather it. But then come March, we all shut down. Right? So I bring that up just to say there's always a way to look at it in a way that it is out of your control. Lance's hands were hurting, which diminishes what it was potentially, and we've talked about that in another episode. But he qualified, and then he retired because of injury. Okay? You can argue that it's out of the team's control that an injury came back.
Okay. I was trying to
Right?
calculate that, yeah.
And this is the thing. The teams have all these people on staff to try and build the story. And we've seen it with Alonso's penalty in Bahrain, where a mechanic touched the car with the jack, right? The jack was under the car, touching it, but not raised. And they said that was an improperly served penalty. And then almost immediately after the race, that was reversed. So he got his position back. The team has people looking at stuff like this. So from my standpoint, it's bullshit that they couldn't have started somebody, because why wasn't somebody looking at it and going, oh, well, Lance has a pre-existing injury that hadn't been causing him problems, and all of a sudden, oh, he can't grip the steering wheel, he's injured, he's out, he's sick, whatever. You could have made the case for force majeure. Could have, but they didn't. Okay. I don't buy your narrative because Felipe hasn't raced in 2 years at least.
Yeah, that's a good point.
He would not have come in and beat Alonso.
Yeah. Okay. No, that's a fair rebuttal. I was just thinking like, I was just being filled with hatred about Fernando. Okay, yeah,
Sure.
moving on. Yeah.
And I buy the hatred. I'm all for it.
This is not an Alonso positive show.
No.
All right. Yeah, we'll hold off on Aston. Who did we say would be? We're on 8th right now?
8th, we're divided again. So we're the opposite now. You said Alpine, I said Haas. So I don't know that we have to touch on that much anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, because, we already called Uncle, so, yeah.
Yeah.
9th?
9th, we're divided again. You said Sauber, and I said Williams.
I think we got to call Uncle.
So let's devil's advocate. What's it going to take for Sauber to drop to 9th? Less than 20 points.
12. Yeah, 12 points. Yeah, I won't call Uncle just yet. That's fair. That's a good point.
And this goes back to the prediction I made preseason of the grid is going to be extremely tight.
Yes, you did make that right.
It's not going to be as tight across all 10 teams as I would have hoped, but we clearly have two very tight races. We have 1st to 4th, and we have 5th to 10th.
We have 2nd to 4th as a tight race.
Mathematically, we have 1st to 4th.
Okay. And then 5th to 10th. Well, 5th to 9th. I think 10th is... I think 10th is
12
10th.
points, Nick.
That's okay. All right.
No, sorry. That's more than 10.
14, but
14, yeah.
but still, like, it's not looking good. Their upgrades have fallen flat, and they're still like, and Haas has fallen flat, and they're still a step behind Haas.
Yeah.
So I don't see how Alpine digs itself out of 10th right now.
No.
Haas could dig itself out of 9th,
Yes.
but it's going to be tight. And because Racing Bulls has been on a slump a little bit, like here and there. Hadjar hasn't really come to play the last few races. So they're going to start scoring. It's going to be wild. It's actually going to be wild for the next 12 races at the bottom.
But now we're into a good stretch where Hadjar has experience at these tracks.
He's going to come to play.
He will. And I have to put it out there because I watched the F1 movie this week.
Oh boy.
You have to have a little bit of hope in the underdogs, Nick. Because unexpected things can happen.
I haven't watched the movie yet. I'm sorry, everybody. You and I should have done a review, realistically, but
I'll let you watch it and then we'll do a review because I have thoughts.
okay. It's just like, I just know I'm going to watch it. I'm going to be one of those douchebags in the theater, like crossing his arms going, that's not right. That's not right.
I went to see it with Kaylee. She suggested it. I had been putting off watching it because I had my, what's the word I'm looking for, Nick?
Reservations?
I had my reservations about the movie because sports movies in general typically aren't great.
That's a hot take. Space Jam? Sorry, continue.
That's different. The original Space Jam
I know.
nailed it.
Yeah.
But even like Gran Turismo, I don't know if you saw Gran Turismo.
No, I didn't.
It was a well done movie, but it wasn't good, if that makes sense.
Was this the recent one, or was that the one I'm thinking with Aaron Paul and...
No, you're thinking Need for Speed.
Need for Speed, that's what I'm thinking of. Okay, yeah.
Gran Turismo was Orlando Bloom.
Oh, yeah.
A well done movie. Well done movie for a movie based off of a video game about racing. Okay? It had real elements in it, but it's not winning any awards. It's not particularly well written. But if you want a good cinematic representation of racing, yeah, go watch it. This is how I feel about F1, the movie.
Okay, I'll give it a chance. I'm being such a...
And just to be clear, F1 the movie is a much better movie than Gran Turismo.
You just had to make that clear. Yeah.
Before people start coming at me in the comments. It was a very well executed movie.
Formula One, not Gran
Yes.
Turismo. Yes. Okay.
Yes. No, and as I said to Kaylee, knowing what I know about how they did the cars, how they filmed it, how they did all of it, I can see all the inaccuracies, and it drove me crazy watching it.
That's what I think I'm going to do.
Not to ruin it for you, but you and I have both watched F2. Do you have the same picture in your head when I look at the differences of F2 and F1 on the downshifts?
No, that's a you thing.
Okay. The F2 cars have a very short exhaust and they shoot flame.
Okay. So that's what they were showing the F1 car doing?
The only car on the fucking grid that was shooting fire out the back of it.
Oh, man, that must have pissed you off. You must have been like,
It drove me fucking nuts the entire movie.
yeah, what's the GX
Apex GP.
Apex GP, that's what it is, yeah. It looks like an F2 car. Yeah.
They did a good job. And like I said, it is a well done movie. My brain did not accept it. But it was very well done.
Our summer series is coming up soon. We're going to have some more movie talk, just as a segue from that. I will give it a chance.
So now you have two movies that you have to watch before we hit that.
Gran Turismo
And F1.
and F1. Okay. And let's just finish off this episode, and then we got something we got to do for fun. Not have to, want to do for fun.
We'll do it as a YouTube short. So it won't come out on Spotify. It shouldn't take long. You'll see it on YouTube.
Okay. All right, so then what did we say was 10th then?
10th. I said Sauber. You said Alpine.
Did I say Alpine?
Oh, no, sorry. You said Racing Bulls.
Uncle.
Hey,
Uncle.
they're sliding down that list faster than the banana splits.
Uncle. My entire theory is they would try and screw Yuki, and Hadjar would not come and score less than 10 points. Uncle.
Let's see. We have an over-under for this. Where were you on that? Hadjar.
Don't. Do you have to?
2.5 points finishes for Hadjar. Nick under. So Nick thought he would get less than 3 points finishes.
And he already has 5 or 6. I think he's doubled it already.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Jesus Christ.
Yep. So
Uncle.
eat it, Nick.
Yeah, I mean, Sauber finishing last, you should probably call Uncle.
There's still time.
Okay.
I am less concerned with that than I am others. Because the fact that they've had 4 races in a row with point scores is a statistical anomaly in the history of Sauber as we know it. And this is not recent Sauber. This is Sauber.
Since 1993.
With the exception of BMW's takeover, this is an anomaly.
That's a good point. 4 points in a row, 4 points finishes in a row, and a podium.
But not just that. A podium, yes. More than 1 point.
Yeah.
In recent Sauber history, getting more than 1 point was an anomaly.
Yeah.
10 points, 4 points, 6 points, 15 points. Statistically, this cannot continue. Unless they've hit something really good, and the next few races will tell us this, because we have Spa, Hungary, Netherlands. We have a fast, long lap. We have a slow, short lap. And we have a fast, moderate lap.
Yeah, you get the full spectrum.
If they score points the next 3 races, next year Audi's taking it.
Oh my God.
I don't know where this would have come from, but if they take the next three races and score the same amount of points they've been scoring, they've got something. But all likelihood points to them now turning the corner back and reverting to 17th, 18th.
Yeah. But like it just seems like such a good combination. They have all the Devil's rejects. You know, Bonotto, Hulkenberg, Bortoletto, Wheatley.
It's your wording for it, and I wouldn't call it that, but sure.
I'm just using like a movie reference just to make myself laugh in my head because I'm the only one who thinks I'm funny.
Doesn't make it so. What movie reference is that?
Wasn't that Rob Zombie's Devil's Rejects? I'm just saying it's all the people nobody wanted. It's
The Devil's Rejects is Rob Zombies, but it doesn't fucking make it so. What reference is that, Nick?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't fucking make it so.
That is Chris Penn in Reservoir Dogs.
Shit. Okay, well, you barely knew that. So.
It's the actor I was stumbling on. Because who the fuck remembers Chris Penn?
Sean Penn.
Yes. And presumably their parents, but...
Yeah, that's a whole other story. And on that note, Chris Penn... Oh, I think he's dead, actually. I was going to say, yeah.
Yes.
Yes. I was going to say, wherever you are, we're sorry. No, yeah. Well, he's definitely hearing it now. That's for sure. Have a good night, everybody. That was our mid-season recap. We'll be back after Spa.
All right.